Where did you get the inspiration for this?
So I have something like this in Greenville. So it just goes down the stairs.
Yeah, with the shoes hanging?
Yep, the shoes hanging, and we have these on the side going down the stairs. And I'm into cars, I love exotic cars, and I saw this actually, this is meant for cars, so you pull cars in, it's like a detail thing. I was like, damn, that kind of looks badass. And I was like, I love creating an entrance, like you're, the first impression's the lasting one, and I believe in that. And I want people to walk in and be like, what the fuck? Like, why? Why? But it's cool. I don't know why. And I got that, a lot of the inspiration from going to nightclubs, really cool nightclubs in like Vegas. You walk in and you're kind of going through a maze that like tells you a story about what you're about to open up, and then you open up and you're like, holy shit. Like the first time you go to like a sick club in Miami or something, if they do it right, it tells you a story going through the entrance, and it's mirrors and it's this and this, and you're excited. Almost like a theme park ride. You're like, what's about to happen? And you open it up and you're like, oh shit, this is cool. I wanted that experience where you walk in and I was like, how can we do that? I did it with the basement. Like, all right, you kind of go down the basement jungle with the lights. It kind of is like vibe. You don't know what it is. And you walk into this, and I was like, all right, how can we do it with this? And kind of came across these. And, I've never been to Alphaland. I've seen kind of it, but this was nothing.
It is definitely different. It's just, it's similar. And Alphaland's probably the only other thing. Again, it's on a 30,000 square foot scale, but it's like, the desire to bring aesthetics to the forefront, right? Like that's the effort I see the private open gym models doing, right? And some of the Lifetimes and the Crunches, they're trying to go that route. They're just too big to make it happen, and they appeal to too many people. You're able to appeal to a very specific person when you go hard on the aesthetics, right? Because it just leans one way. It's like cool to this kind of demographic, or if you have pictures of Barry Manilow and shit, my mom would fucking work out here, right? You just got to like pick your angle.
And it's hard because you're like, how much money are we spending? Like my dad's like a hard numbers guy. Like my dad, he's a pilot. He structures shit. I give my dad the parent price on things, and then like this is what it really costs, and I'll tell him about 50% less. But I'm telling him this, and he's like, why the fuck you spend that much money on Marvel? Like, what are you doing? He's become now a little bit more lenient after he sees the finished product, but it's hard because like this doesn't bring in revenue off the front.
It's
like
zero.
Yeah, like you see there, like what? Like why? Like it's not gym equipment. People are walking on it. So it's hard at first because you're like, okay, it better be worth it. You have to, like, if we're putting this into it, it has to be somewhere worth it. They're taking pictures. That's why I put a big ass mirror there. I was like, I want a place where when you walk in, it's almost impossible not to take a photo. Where it's like, all right, I gotta take, I know everyone's doing it, I gotta take that photo, And so that was like, it's like, all right, what's that price point look like? How much are we gonna spend on it? Because it's not essentially generating revenue from like what you think in a standard gym,
It's creating, it's consumer generated content. It's creating marketing. It's the purple cow. It's the thing that if you haven't seen it before, it makes them stop and think, this is unique. I want to be unique. I will be here. It's like when Lululemon popped because nobody was paying $165 for a pair of fucking black leggings. That was unheard of. No one did it. And then every bitch kept that fucking tote because they just showed off like I can afford leggings I shop at Lululemon.
It became a status symbol.
Yeah, it became a status symbol. And I mean, you see that, I tell people like, someone's like, how many stories should my gym have? I'm like, as many, if not more, than Core24 has on theirs that they reshare. Like that's every day. That is like the equivalent of the 5 stars on a Google review. How many fucking little hashes do you have of resharing someone else's shit? And if no one is going in and out of your gym and taking a photo or taking a selfie or doing whatever, they could love it. But if they're not showing it off, it's just because there's nothing to show.